Hello! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Welcome to the Rosewood Legacy Dead of Night! And welcome to the cast video for Isadora Maya Rosewood Rivera, our heir! I'm so excited to show my girl to y'all, obviously. I'm just so ready for you guys to see her and start seeing the series itself, because this is going to be a really fun time, I'm thinking. So I'm going to talk a lot in this video. I tend to do that. And first, I'm going to be introducing myself, because if somebody new finds this video, this is a pretty good one to start on if you want to watch the series. So I'll be introducing myself from here. So if you make videos that are a mix of machinima and gameplay, and they're very story focused, and I'm so happy to have you. Outside of this channel, I'm a student, author, game dev, and artist. I do edit my own thumbnails, and my commissions are open. Plugging myself a little bit because I'm broke. I post two series, the Rosewood Legacy and the Chromatic Legacy Challenge. This is technically generation 3 of the Rosewood Legacy, though watching the others are not necessary to understand this generation in any capacity. However, I do suggest watching the last two generations first, because I truly do adore them. You'd like the prologue in Gen 1 if you like coming of age stories, horses, found family, self-discovery. And you'd like Generation 2, Sapphire Cliffs, if you like murder mysteries, the dark academia aesthetic, interesting stuff, and unique gameplay. I'm saying interesting stuff because I don't know how else to describe some of the stuff that happens in that series, but hey, it's a fun ride, and I've never worked on something as good as Sapphire Cliffs, and I'll try to do a good job following it up, and it will be hard to beat. I put my soul into that series, and I'll do the same for this generation, don't worry, but I don't know how it will compare, just because I don't know how to top Sapphire Cliffs. But I might, who knows? And if you have been on my channel or just look through it quickly, there is a huge variety in genres of Sims, genres of cinema almost that I post. I have posted everything from romances to murder mysteries to action dramas. It's everywhere. And this one's gonna be, something else too. This is gonna be a new thing for the channel as well. We're exploring a little bit of a new genre with this one. So if you like city living, bisexual romances, or a potential supernatural twist, you may like Dead of Night. So I post 2 to 3 times a week, and I'm also playing the 3rd gen of my Chromatic Legacy Challenge, Cherry Gen, with my heir Carmen, comedian actress struggling through fame. So yeah, welcome to my channel. If you haven't watched the previous cast video where I make Isadora's new co-workers and neighbors, I would suggest it before you start the first episode, just to get a basic introduction to the other characters, but it is not necessary. It's just a nice introduction. Isadora is going to be moving to San Myshuno to work in an interesting little club called the Incarnadine Cabaret. It's called a cabaret because there are often live performers, mostly a band and also a crew of dancers. But you will learn more about that later. So Isadora has childhood trauma than a lot of my other Sims, but she still has a bit of a complicated history. If you did not know, Isadora was born to 5 parents, and when I say that, I mean it literally. I thought it would be fun to mix the genetics of 5 different Sims, so this is literally the genetic daughter of 5 people. So she is, needless to say, a very unique Sim. Parents went through a lot together, and I mean a lot. I threw so much at these poor Sims. They were all close friends, and they went to university together during Sapphire Cliffs. Her mama, my heir, whose name is Sasha, is Airways, and they're just a bit of a misfit family. But Isadora grew up extremely loved, although slightly coddled. She's always wanted independence, but independence is hard to come by when you're surrounded by parents. From a very young age, it seemed like Isadora knew who she was, well, personality-wise. When she became a toddler, she was doing almost everything on her own, except for the times where her parents forced her to learn things with them. They weren't being negligent in any way. She was just super independent, and it was kind of scary how independent she was sometimes. She would just leave the house sometimes, go on a little stroll herself as a toddler. That's weird. Why do you do that? But she was really responsible with it. She always came home before dark, so, She never made any messes. She loved her puppy Bucket, her childhood companion. She was surrounded by her parents and her grandparents, Griffin and Callie, my matriarch and patriarch for this legacy. Her middle name actually honors 2 characters who passed away during Sapphire Cliffs, and her last name is Rosewood, of course, but it's also the last name of the mother who birthed her, because we need to put some respect to that, she literally gave birth, so that's you deserve the child to inherit your last name. So the meaning of Isadora's name is personal to me. Nobody else will understand, but I named her Isadora because I had a character in a novel that I used to write with my sister, and it followed a similar topic and genre as this series. And we had stopped working on that project, so I kind of named her Isadora as a homage to the main character of that novel. Mom was working on a crazy scientific discovery that led to Isadora's biological makeup. However, Isadora herself was never used as any kind of science experiment, and for a long time she didn't even understand how unique her conception actually was. So as a child, Isadora's parents made sure she had a load of experiences. She went to science conventions with her mom to learn about all sorts of obscure things, learned to bake and cook from her beau, and she visited her grandparents at their ranch and met unicorns and horses and saw a different side of life. She liked them all, but she really enjoyed one experience in particular. Her dad brought her to San Myshuno to explore, sing terrible karaoke, and view the city scenery. That really grabbed Isadora's attention, and ever since she's wanted to move to the city, and her dreams are finally about to become a reality. She also had sleepovers very often with a large group of students from her school. It came to a point where many weekends when she was a child, the Sapphire Manor's front lawn was littered with children in sleeping bags. She never really made any close friends, despite her extremely social attitude. She was almost too much of a social butterfly to make really good friends. When she was a kid, she's probably toned down a little bit, but she's still very, very outgoing. Isadora's childhood was pretty happy, even after her grandparents passed. Isadora, though independent, has inherited so many traits from her parents. She's interested in becoming a bartender because she knew that job was social, creative, and related to food and drinks. She got her love for food and drinks from Winona and inherited a keen, curious instinct from Sasha. She keeps a calm head during stress thanks to Felix, and her independence and self-respect was influenced by Rachel. She inherited her extrovert personality and loving affection from Isaac. And Isaac is also the only extroverted parent, so she got a lot from him, even though they're quite different in ways of, like, he's a complete goofball and she's not really. In fact, as a kid, she was given the trait that she's absolutely terrible at comedy, so... As a teenager, she had a pretty typical teenage experience. She adored her high school dances and was often one to make new students feel welcome. She was never really close to anyone in particular. Sometimes that would make her sad, but other times her social floater status excited her. She was very popular because she was outgoing and friendly. I made a little teen Isadora, so you can see her looking a bit younger because I know the difference between her now and her child self was jarring, so I'll put that on the screen. Because of multiple pretty vital reasons, I cannot start this generation as a teenager. I do feel bad that we've essentially skipped a decade of her life, but it is necessary for the plot in many ways. You have to trust me on that. But I did do a somewhat similar thing with Sasha, and that seemed to work. Still get the same amount of episodes. The timeline will be just like a little different than a regular series that spans over a character's entire lifetime. I'm a little nervous because we are jumping into a part of Isadora's life that's completely unfamiliar and new from the little kid we knew in Sapphire Cliffs. Honestly, this is all new territory for Isadora too. She wasn't a sheltered child by any means, but there are some things your childhood can't prepare you for. To be fair, Isadora has grown, but she's very similar to how she was since she was born. She's always had confidence, curiosity, and a love for food and drinks. While she was raised by 5 uni graduates, her parents only ever asked that she make an informed decision on what she wanted to do, whether that meant going to college or not. Her parents knew that uni isn't for everyone. The reason they all went down that path is because they met at university, so obviously they all went to university. That being said, her parents were very overly enthused to help her find her path. They wanted in on every step of this journey, and without realizing it, they are smothering her more than they ever did before when she was a child. So she's moving out to San Mai, a bit confused at what she wants, but she feels like it's necessary to get out of her teen home and just, like, start a new experience. Cautious but determined to find her importance in the city. Isadora explored romantically a bit in high school. Once again, nothing serious, but she determined that she's probably bisexual. Although she doesn't lose sleep over her label, she doesn't really care if she does or doesn't have a label. She also doesn't really feel much jealousy, wouldn't mind being in a poly or monogamous relationship, so that's like ambiamorous. She's a cis woman and uses she, her pronouns. It was hard to pick her traits, but I went with self-assured, foodie, party animal, and in-game she already earned the romantic trait. Interestingly enough, when she aged up into a teenager, she just automatically had level 3 romance, even though she was a child. I don't know why that happened, but it was like, okay. So a little bit of a disclaimer. I need you to trust me with this story. And I know that sounds like weird, because why wouldn't you trust me? But like, just trust me, okay? Okay. But before Sapphire Cliffs, I had never written a murder mystery before. And the genre I'm writing this generation is somewhat familiar to me, but not in The Sims. I don't know why, but this scares me a lot. It's really hard to do this genre in The Sims, in my opinion. So get ready for a sort of crazy journey, but that's kind of what to be expected. on my channel. Okay, and finally I will stop blabbing about this series and start blabbing about Isadora. But you've been watching me making her this whole time. So exciting. Every single time I have a new teen or adult who I watch grow up. I always imagine them before their story and before they age up, but it's still so crazy to see them in actuality. I'm wondering, did you guys have any idea on how she was gonna look? Did she look different or similar to what you imagined? I know the aesthetic has changed a lot since her childhood. Obviously, it's been like 10 years at this point, which again, I'm really sorry about that. I think with Isadora, it would be pretty hard to pick out who she would look like, because typically when you see a child sim, you can tell that they look a lot like one parent over the other, but Isadora only has one feature from each parent, so it's a bit harder to place because she has a lot of parents. Because Sasha looked so much like both Callie and Griffin, I kind of wanted Isadora to look different than the previous two gens. The only thing she really inherited from Sasha was her jaw, which is hard to tell. Then she got Winona's eye shape, Isaac's nose, and Felix's lips. I feel bad because I know Rachel gave birth to her, but I ran out of facial features. So Rachel, obviously her last name's in there, and I'm trying to think that's enough. Also, I would say out of all of her parents, Isadora, personality-wise, is most like Rachel. So yeah, I really wanted her to look like all of her parents, and I think the combo of the 5 different Sims made her look more unique in her appearance rather than having like half of Sasha's features. So I think that was like a fun little experiment to see how it would be like if I, mashed more than 2 Sims together to make an heir. I say that she looks the most like Winona to me because she has a similar color palette and the eyes are very defining. Although I have heard from my sister that she looks more like Felix, which I can see. I did put her in a couple of Winona's hairs though, and she definitely looks the most like Winona to me. And as you can see, she is stunning. She had a more pastel color palette as a kid, but right now she wears stronger colors, a boldness to match the city. And she is so cool. Like, I haven't made a new heir in forever because Sapphire Glyphs took me way longer than like any other generation on my channel probably ever. Like 10 months. 10 months to finish one generation. Crazy. I think if you look at the actual generation, it makes sense why it took me 10 months to do, but still. So this is just exciting. We are so back and this is a new experience. Like, there's nothing more exciting than going into something new when there's so much in store. And you guys have no idea what it is. It makes me feel really just this rush. It makes me feel this rush that you have no idea what I'm about to throw at you. But I'm really excited to share Isadora's story with you. So, I'm a bit of a slow person in CAS. It took me 8 hours to make Isadora over. It's all in the footage you're seeing, so needless to say it is sped up by a ton. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stop talking now because I've been talking a lot and I've said what I need to say. So yeah, I am so thrilled for this generation and I hope you are too. There are a lot of things that I'm scared about when it comes to this generation. I'm being a bit bold with it, but that could backfire really badly or it could be amazing. And the same thing went for Sapphire Glyphs, and Sapphire Glyphs turned out amazing in my opinion. So hopefully this generation will do the same. So much for watching, and I will see you in the first episode of the Rosewood A CAS Dead of Night. Goodbye!